live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Mental health moment.
Yeah.
It's that kind of felt funny because usually on to the real.
Right. Right. It's the inflection in the way that you said it was like you would say onto the real. Right. And it's really you kind of need to be a little more solemn when you say mental health moment, right? Yeah. Mental health moment. Like it's a little more. Yeah, but no, it's not. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you had talked to me about this story.
Yeah.
And with kind of some of the things that we've seen coming from, I guess a lot of these stories with the University of Michigan, with Michigan State, with Penn State, and the sexual abuse charges of some of these people on campus, and not just the all the people who are involved, right?
Yeah.
You know, the victims, the perpetrators, the surrounding people who were either a part of the alleged cover-up. Like these stories are huge, and they highlight a big problem. They highlight a big problem that doesn't just go away when the story fades.
No, it does not.
So looking at this investigation over the handling of the sexual abuse charges at the University of Michigan. So I'm sorry, let me get myself together. Because there's so many thoughts coming at me, you know what I'm saying, when looking at a story like this, like, what have you heard? Okay, first let me ask, what have you heard about this story? Like, what do you see that's going on with this story?
Okay, so it's three particular alumni, and I think they're all ex-athletes.
Okay.
Who have come forward with their attorneys to try to get the attorney general for the state of Michigan to investigate basically how the officials at the school handled the late Robert Anderson's the claims against the late Robert Anderson of sexual abuse against hundreds of students, including student athletes and others, over his years there, in the cover-up. And just their thing is somebody needs to be held accountable, right? For because apparently there were multiple times when students made reports. It's not like, it was kind of more hush hush for a long time at Penn State, from what I remember. But this is a situation where people came forward and their concerns were put to the side.
Right.
And I know if you're watching or you're listening, you're like, what does this have to do with mental health moment? Because typically we talk about somebody who's overcome, right? Well, when I read this story, immediately my mind went to the hundreds of people who Robert Anderson allegedly molested throughout his time as his tenure as the doctor there at the school, and their mental health. Because like Jarrett, you just said it doesn't go away just because the story goes away. Or and for someone, and even more I think it's compounding that somebody would say, hey, this happened to me, and you would be dismissive of it. That makes it, I feel like, even worse than the person who might just be holding on to it themselves. You know what I mean? Like never having said anything. And so those three people who came forward, and I'm sure more have come forward since they were bold enough to come out and say that they had this experience with him. Kudos to them. This is a mental health moment for people who are suffering in silence and those who are bold enough to say something, right? Mm-hmm. Either way, because this is the problem with things like abuse, and physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, is it's lasting. Mm-hmm. Trauma, because that's what it causes. The trauma is lasting if it's not dealt with. Yeah. Even when it's dealt with, it's not like it goes away, right? You just learn better coping skills. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like more, I don't know, like it's an epidemic within institutions, and and I don't mean that in just the sense of educational institutions. I mean institutions. Mm-hmm. This is a problem. Right. And the response to that problem from people is inadequate. Mm-hmm. Because the people who it is affecting have to deal with this their whole lives. Right. And it's true, hurt people. Mm-hmm. So in some cases, you're setting off a cycle of things. Right. And so so I don't know. I'm passionate. You know how I feel about this.
Yeah, all right, listen.
And so I'm passionate about people being whole and healthy, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I do what I do for a living, because I'm passionate about people being whole and healthy. Mm-hmm. And I want to see more compassion, mm-hmm. more action around these issues that happen like this. Don't just sweep it under the rug. Right. Hope that it goes away, because somebody's life is forever affected. Right. And if every life matters, supposedly the way that we're supposed to look at it, then you're going to look at this and say, we need to do better, and we need to do something now. Yeah. So that's why it was our mental health moment. I hope that makes sense to people.
That makes perfect sense. I think that anyone hearing that, if hearing that you can't muster up the empathy to understand where some people may be, then I'd submit that you just aren't human. You know, hearing some of those stories, you know, in all of them, like all of those schools, and you know, just the struggles that you hear people deal with after something like that is just, you know, heart-wrenching. Yeah. You know, and so my heart goes out to all of the survivors of sexual abuse. I pray that you can find healing. I pray that you can find wholeness. You know, and you know, this is heavy. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking about some of this stuff, like, it's heavy. So I truly pray that there's some healing that'll take place. You know, and some accountability.
Yeah, that's the part right there. Like, at this point, and it's interesting, it's always, what was it, Sandusky? They always dead when it's finally said something is fine. Well, what is the point now? I mean, you still need to deal with it because you need to change the culture, but but it's still like, but the person who did this to me, like, I don't know if you get closure. Right. You know? Right. And just so you know, I just looked at it. John Vaughn was a running back for the university. He was one of the three people who came forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Shout out to him for his bravery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you all just know, there are people who care.
Mm-hmm.
We hear you.
Definitely.
We hear you. That's all I can say. I don't really know what else to say, but we hear you.
Right. All right. Feel good final thought.
All right. Listen, this is the dopest thing ever right here.
So there are 7 teams left in the NBA playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Out of those 7 teams,
mm-hmm.
4 of the head coaches are African American.
Dopeness. What else can I say? Dopeness.
So let's go further. Let's name them. Nate McMillan.
Yes.
Doc Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
The coach for the Suns, his name is.
Oh Lord, I was just looking at it.
I was just looking at his name.
Oh Lord. Is it Vance? Why do I want to say what? I can't think of his name.
It's about to come up. Monty Williams.
Why did Vance? Where the heck did that come from? And then Tyron, right?
And Ty Lue, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those are the 4 head coaches out of the 7 teams left that are African American, and it's just dope to see, especially when we think about
when you put the percentages of how many coaches in the whole league are actually African American.
Exactly, and how it was such a struggle to hire, and we saw this in the NFL and the NBA. It was such a struggle to hire Black head coaches this past offseason.
Yeah.
And so when we see stuff like the majority of the staff for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being minority, with a Black offense and defensive coordinator, and you see this right here with the NBA playoffs. It's real good to see, and it's validation for those coaches.
Validation. There you go. Validation.
You might need to take a little closer look at the coaches in your league.
Oh, the NBA is definitely going to do it.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to. Shout out to Wes Unseld Jr. Shout out to Wes Unseld Jr., who hopefully will get an opportunity to be a head coach this year with some of the vacancies that have come up. Because we see that the Pelicans have a vacancy, Washington Wizards have a vacancy, and a few other teams, the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna offer Nate McMillan the job in Atlanta.
Atlanta, They need to hurry up and get that interim tag. Boston Celtics,
Right.
So, shout out to them. Shout out to the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. I love it.
And this just came up on the ticker. Rick Carlisle is out in Dallas.
In Dallas?
Yeah, Rick Carlisle's out, and so that'll be another head coaching vacancy along with the Celtics. That'll need to be filled.
Wow. I told you it was him. Didn't I say it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, did we talk about this, about how they were misusing Porzingis? Okay, that is the conversation. Okay. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shout out to those coaches.
All right. Good luck, y'all, in the rest of the playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to see 2 of y'all playing each other.
Right.
So
all right, show picks. What you watching?
All right, my show back, Flack.
What is that?
So this is hilarious, first of all. It's dark comedy though. Yeah. So this is so they like when the show comes on, they tell you reality shows are staged something just like this show, right? It's something really stupid like this. So they're really poking fun at just this whole celebrity thing. And so it's about a female run and operated PR firm in England that represents a multitude of different people, athletes, models, entertainers, all kinds of people And what it's almost like they have to be the Olivia Pope for these people. So they're the fixers of the issues. So they spin things
right.
that might look crazy to make it not look crazy, right?
Okay.
Like it's a soccer player who's like, I'm losing all my money, all my endorsements. What can I do? Well, his best friend is getting married, but secretly not knowing that nobody knows secretly that the best friend is gay.
Oh, wow,
he's getting married to a woman though. And so what they do to try to spin to do a double spin for the friend, because they like trying to get the heat off of him because he get caught in a room with a man or something, and get this friend back on the top of the game, they tell him to say he's gay. And so they bring him in a boyfriend and everything. I'm telling you, this show is hilarious. Okay.
Oh, wow. What is this on?
It's on Amazon, I think. It's on Amazon.
Okay, Amazon Prime.
So they flip. So basically, it's just them figuring out how to twist any story to make it work for their client.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
So this is season 2.
Okay.
This is season 2. It just came out, but no, the first one, I like the first season even better. But it's really good. It is. It's a very good show. Like, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my show is, my movie is a movie, and I was waiting until I actually saw it to put it on here. And I'm going to watch it tonight. But the reason I'm going to put it as my show pick today is because the trailer for this movie is so good that the movie has to be good. And the name of this movie is Concrete Cowboy.
Oh, that's the movie. I saw that movie, remember?
Did you put that one on there?
Yes.
Oh, so you was the one that told me about it.
Yes. No, it is so good. Go watch it. It is so Idris Elba, they do an amazing job in this movie. Yeah. Because remember, I was telling you some of the actual Concrete Cowboys are part of the movie.
Oh, a part of the movie. Oh, dope. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna check this out tonight. But the trailer is off the hinges. Like
it's so good. It is good.
You know, one of the stars in the movie, Idris Elba.
Yes, Lord.
Oh Lord. He's one of my favorite actors. If anybody knows me, one of my favorite shows of all time, or probably the favorite show of all time, is The Wire. And my favorite character of that show is Stringer Bell, who was played by Idris Elba. So typically when I see that he's in a movie, you know, with his acting chops, I'm going to check it out.
Daddy's Little Girl is my favorite. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Yeah. Yeah.
I like him playing the little hood, I like it.
Right. Oh, and you love The Wire.
Yeah, I'll probably would.
I think he might have been a little too seedy in The Wire for you to like actually like that character.
Yeah.
You know, but because The Wire does such a great job of telling the story, you understand why he is the way he is. You know.
Yeah, I would get down with that. But yeah. Yes, go check Concrete Cowboy.
I'm gonna check that out tonight.
Okay. Yeah. Text me when you finish and let me know what you think.
Okay.
Because you know I don't work tomorrow, so.
Man, we're at the end of another one.
Yeah.
Episode 114.
Yeah.
If you guys want to reach out to us, hit us up at fieldthenumber2therealpodcast@gmail.com. Certainly connect with us on Instagram or IG, fieldthenumber2 or at fieldthenumber2 the real podcast. Hit us up on Twitter at fieldthenumber2 the real P1. Send us a message on Facebook, Field to the Real Podcast. And we now, even though if you go to it, it's not up yet, we now have a website, fttrpodcast.com. So, you know, we moving some things around. You know, we about to launch some stuff. We about to launch some merch in a few weeks. So please keep checking for that. And, you know, we just want to say, you know, we say it every week, but we truly mean that we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
rolling with us and listening.
Absolutely.
And the numbers going up and up, and we truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're
Shout
going
out to my bestie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my bestie because she's definitely not a sports person, but she's been listening, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Tanya.
bestie.
Yeah.
Well, we love you guys. We're out. Peace. There you go. Put it right there so that way you know that thing ain't gonna disappear.
Yeah, right. I was like, let me do it like this.
Love you guys.
All right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.